Hello there, and welcome back to Remaining Calm through October. I'm your host, Karin Del Maestro, your health, transformation, and calmness coach. And I'm also a breast cancer and BRCA2 thriver. And so I wanted to put together this 31-day series of complimentary tips from my heart to yours. So please receive it with the intention it's being gifted to help you maintain calm, not just through October, but beyond, right? These are tips that you can use throughout your entire life. And part of the reason that this is so important is that one of the major side effects that we often feel challenged with after breast cancer, especially after treatment is over, is fatigue, right? So often we are dealing with this, Karin, get your words straight there, debilitating fatigue, right? And so what we don't realize, and this has been part of my own study since being diagnosed in 2018, is that where our mind goes, our energy flows. And so often we think it's what we've done physically that's making us fatigue, but this is a different kind of fatigue, right? And you probably realize it's the kind of fatigue that is not fixed by a nap. It's the kind of fatigue that you feel deep through to your bones. And so this is a different kind of fatigue. This is a fatigue that is caused often by being traumatized. And hearing those spine-chilling words, you have breast cancer, is a trauma for most of us, myself included, right? It's why we get triggered. It's why the effects last longer. They're not so quick, and we're not done when treatment's done. And so today we're talking about seeking professional help, okay? Because here's the thing, something that I know as somebody that is very familiar with grief and trauma, and my journey over the past 10 years alone has included a life-altering car accident, the loss of my mom, my dad, and my younger brother within a 5-year period, moving 7 times in 8 years, including to and from the Caribbean. That's a story for another day, right? But also having Zika virus, shingles, being diagnosed with breast cancer and BRCA2, as were my 2 adult children. And since then, helping a loved one out during COVID lockdown after a very serious car accident and traumatic brain injury. Also going through most recently Hurricane Ian. We live in Florida and we were in the eye of the storm. And so I tell you this, right? Because I want you to know that I am just like you. I don't have an S tattooed on my chest. There's no Kate behind me. I am just a regular person, just like you, although there's something quite extraordinary about each of us. I don't want to diminish that. But the difference might be is that because I have had to bounce back so many times from so many traumas, I've actually created a system to help me do that. That system is what I teach in Thrivership School, my group coaching program. But when we talk about seeking professional help, it can look like many things. Now, for me, and I have sought professional help many times throughout this process. So I'm going to describe for you how I knew when it was time to reach out for help. And it may well be different for you. And I want you to know that there is no right time or no wrong time. I'm simply going to describe how I know when I am at the point that I need that additional support. And like I said, it's happened multiple times in the past 10 years, not surprisingly, right? It's some tough stuff. But I also know that you've been through tough stuff. Your tough stuff might look different to mine. But I know that you have also been through tough stuff. And there's actually a link between going through a serious traumatic event 24 to 48 months prior to being diagnosed with breast cancer. And so think back. Did you go through an especially difficult time? Was there a lot of like uncertainty in life, a lot of stress, a lot of trauma, a lot of having a hard time just getting through the day because things were difficult? Maybe you were on that. I was very much on the, oh my gosh, I don't even have time to deal with. For me, it was the loss of my mom. I sat by my mom's bedside as she passed away. The day after her funeral, my brother almost died in a horrific life-saving surgery where he was given 50-50 chance of surviving. He's since no longer with us, but he did survive that surgery. And 2 weeks after that, my hubby was in a very serious motorcycle. I forgot to list that one, where he almost lost his right arm. And it took 2 years of occupational therapy to get his hand and arm back to being able to be functioning. And as a master carpenter, a trim carpenter, that's his livelihood. That all of that happened within a 1 month period, exactly a year before I was diagnosed. I didn't have time to deal with one thing before I was dealing with something else. And so when we are looking at staying healthy, when we are looking at lowering our fatigue, when we are looking at wanting to get the most out of life from here on out, often it means that we don't have to do it all on our own. And like me, you may have always been the strong one. Like me, you may have felt like you're the one that always figures it out. And maybe you're the one that everybody else turns to in your life to sort their problems out. And maybe you're sat there listening to this or watching this saying, but I should be able to figure this out now. Why can't I figure it out? I should know what to do. Or even, I know what to do. Why am I not doing it? These can all be signs that you could use a helping hand. And just like you would show up in a heartbeat to help anybody else, what's wrong with allowing somebody to come and help you? That's not a sign of weakness. Asking for help and knowing when you need it is a sign of strength. And that for me is how I've always been the strong. I have a sign behind me that says everything is figure outable. And I do believe 100% that it is, but I also now believe that you don't have to figure it out on your own, right? Doesn't that just feel easier already to say, maybe I don't have to figure it out. Maybe if I get help from people that have walked this path, they can shortcut that for me. Wouldn't that be nice? Right? Wouldn't that be nice? And so for me, I know that I need professional help when I feel like I can barely keep my head above water. Like I'm just trying to get through every day and there's no joy in the day. I'm literally just trying to get through every day. When I feel like the waves just keep coming and I just keep, being pushed under the water and I'm clawing my way back out, trying to keep my head above water, trying to take a breath. For me, that's when I know that I need help. I need somebody to pull me out of the water so that I don't have to keep fighting. Because fighting is exhausting, right? And when we've fought to survive, literally, which all of us do as we're going through breast cancer, we're already exhausted. Mentally, physically, emotionally, our soul is exhausted. all of those things. That's why so often when we're done with treatment, it's like we get hit by a brick wall, because that is when the fatigue kicks in. And so I want you to know that it's okay to ask for help, because asking for help from the right people will shortcut your pain, your fatigue, your recovery, and get you back to living life, hopefully in a new and improved way, because honestly, that's what's possible. Now, I know that when I talk to women who are in Thrivership School, my group coaching program, most of them express to me when I'm meeting with them for the first time, when I'm having just a chat to see how I might be able to support them, which, by the way, is always available to anybody. Most of them have said to me that they've felt that they're in the darkest place that they've been in their life, that they don't have another fight in them, that they're questioning, is this what my life is going to look like from now on? And not knowing the answer and feeling how heavy that is, right? It's heavy. It feels heavy in your body, in your mind, in your heart. Because I know that you didn't fight for that to be your existence now. I know that you fought like me. And I kind of get a bit choked up here, because like we fought to live the magical moments. We fought to spend the precious time and make memories with our loved ones, to travel, to dip your toes in the sand and in the sea, to laugh with good friends, right? To see your grandkids grow up, to stand in the kitchen and make chocolate chip cookies with them, and they're dipping their fingers in the dough, wanting to eat it, and the giggling and the laughter and the precious things that we get to experience in life because we're here. And I know that all of those things are possible for you. And I know you might be thinking that right now, you might not see that, and that's okay. But that's an indication that you need to be seeking some support, some help, and being open to receiving it the way that you would hope that others would receive help from you. And so what might that support look like? Well, it can come in a number of different ways, right? You can see if there is support through your cancer center or your hospital. It may come in a support group format. Maybe you need community, right? Some of those are live. Some of those are virtual. I host one with a good friend of mine and colleague, Dr. Christy Hibbett, who's a clinical psychologist as well as a breast cancer and BRCA1 warrior. We do a once a month virtual support group that's free of charge. You might want some more individual help, specifically if you have been through multiple traumas, hard times in your life where it's been difficult to kind of deal with. And so you may want to see a psychologist or a social worker, a licensed social worker. And often, right, another reality of life after breast cancer is that we might be dealing with depression. And it's okay if you need some medication to get over this hump. I have done that at times in my life for short periods of time where I just know that I need something to help me get over the hump. I've had medication that doesn't make me numb, doesn't zone me out. It's like, for me, medications, and I'm talking about especially after I've lost my mom and my dad and my brother, those areas of grief for me have been extraordinarily difficult. But I sought out grief counseling. I've sought out trauma counseling. I've had counseling for PTSD after my car accident. It's these times in life where I've been like, this is so big. And it's not even that we don't have to carry. I didn't want to carry it on my own, right? And so thinking about those therapeutic options. And of course, I'm also there as a coach that specializes in helping people after breast cancer treatment ends. I'm also there as an option. And I can tell you that these women that have come to me and are going through thrivership school and learning how to thrive again after breast cancer, after 6 months, they're just saying, I now believe that anything and everything is possible in my life. Their whole outlook to life has shifted because of what they've done through the program in 6 months. Some of them also, this program is not intended to replace counseling. I'm very clear on that. But in conjunction with the right counselor who also understands the breast cancer journey, can be so powerful. And so the thing is that if you feel like this is just too big for you to carry on your own and you feel like it's weighing you down, then I urge you, please, don't sit in the darkness. There is light out there. I promise you that. And it's brighter than you've ever seen before. And sometimes we just need a helping hand to get there. And so what do you do from here? Your calming action of the day. Well, first of all, I want to be clear that for the month of October, I am opening up my calendar and I am offering complimentary 30-minute one-on-one sessions. Now, that would normally be a $150 value, but I'm offering it for free, my gift to you for the month of October only. And so I'll make sure that wherever you are listening to this episode or watching this video, that you have the link to get in my calendar. There's nothing to lose, nothing to lose. I invite you to bring to our conversation, it happens virtually over Zoom. Definitely no glam team. I mean, look at me today, right? No glam team required. That's not how we roll in my community. You come as you are, because that's who I want. I want who you are. But this is your opportunity to bring like your biggest concern to the table and allow me. And I invite you to receive this. Allow me to help support you with it. Okay? That's all you have to do. And I'm not selling anything. I am not doing anything other than showing up to serve you. If you have questions about Thrivership School, we'll book another call. If that's something that you want to, explore, or working with me one-on-one, which I have very limited availability, but I do have 2 spots right now. The big thing here today and the calming action of the day is to take action. If you are feeling blue, if you are feeling heavy, if you are feeling like you don't have another fight in you, if you're asking yourself the question, is this my life from now on? Is this what it's going to look like? Please book the call, because I know through my own unique experience, right, of becoming such a bounce back expert after major trauma, knowing the breast cancer journey intimately, I know that no matter what you are struggling with, then I can help. Right? I can help. And so please just book the call and we'll take it from there, right? We can even discuss other therapeutic options if that's what you need. But take advantage, right? Accept this gift in the manner in which it's being offered to you, which is a helping hand to pull you out of the water so that you're not just barely keeping your head above it anymore. Okay. Now let's finish up the way that we've been finishing up our episodes. And I invite you, especially today, as you do this, to think about the 10-year-old you and think about when in your life did you last feel safe? Right? Maybe it was at 10 you did, maybe you didn't. Think about what it feels like to be safe in your life. And I want you to know that you can give yourself that feeling. Okay. So together, let's put left hand over your heart, right hand gently on top, holding your heart, giving your heart a hug. And just sit for a second and give your heart a hug. And as you're thinking about when was the last time that you felt safe, I invite you to say these words either out loud or silently in your head to you at that age. And to say to yourself, you are loved. You are safe. I've got you. And I love you. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to book your call so that you can start to feel safe, so that you can start to know that you don't have to tackle this on your own. Have a calm and peaceful day and listen to this episode and all of the others as often as you might need to. Bye for now.